everyone, welcome to Jolly Molly TV. Today we're going to do a little quick prep video on Kimberbell's Candy Cane Lane bench pillow project. We're going to be focusing on the cutting of the fabric so that you could be working on this in about the next week or so until we actually start the project. So this is going to be a fun, cute project. If you're doing it as a bench pillow, I'll walk you through how to cut the fabric. And also if you're going to be following my little change up in the pattern design where I'm doing a kind of a table topper / wall hanging, I'll walk you through what you need to cut for that as well. So on the CD, you will have found a PDF file which you need to print out. This is a very handy book. If you have a computer screen next to your embroidery machine, that's great. I always would have it pulled up next to that as well, but I enjoy the hard copy because the hard copy gives me something I can write on, make notes on, and then also keep that by the machine as I'm going through the projects. So whichever method you prefer, go ahead and do that. At least print out the cutting pages because that will help you make notes throughout this adorable project. Okay, the first thing that we need to do is we need to set up this bag system. You can either use Ziploc bags, which they show here in the video, or you can use these awesome, I call it the plastic pouch system. These are plastic pouches that you can get on Amazon, and I will put the link in the video description below. And you can use a dry erase marker on these, and you can label them for the block names that we're going to do. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like street lamp, cocoa stand, red house, Christmas tree, etc. And you mark one bag or one of these pouches with that block name on it. And these are really cool because you can put your fabric in them. You can have things going like I'll show you here. Just a couple of them that I have for Red, White, and Bloom that we're working on. These are the flag strips. You just put the fabrics right in there and it keeps everything nice and protected and organized. That's the main thing, is this is a quick, easy way of organizing all those little cut fabric pieces that we're going to have. And then when you're done with it, take a paper towel or a napkin or something and just wipe the lettering off and reuse it for your next project. Make sure you only use dry erase markers on these. Okay, if you use a permanent Sharpie, it will be permanent. Okay, so only dry erase. But the link I have in the description below, these are the brand Adore You. They're actually considered for classrooms because they can put their multiplication table sheet in here and they can do their math and then they can wipe it all off and reuse it. There's several of them out there. Just make sure you get one that the stitching looks nice on. That's why I chose this brand. It's Adore You, only because that it looked like it was stitched very nicely. So I will get many, many, many years out of this set. I think it's a set of 35 or 36. I think it was 35 in this set. And I've actually have 2 sets now because I have different projects rotating throughout. So I started with 1 set and I grew to 2. So that way you can have multiple projects in different stages of prep and be able to reuse these over and over again. So go ahead and get either some Ziploc bags or get one of those pouch systems and label them with all of the blocks like I have here. Cocoa stand, red house, Christmas tree, etc. Label them with all of these block names that they have listed here. Okay, so get those all labeled. Okay, now we're going to work on the fabric cutting. This is the fun part. This also takes a while, but just be patient and go with the process. It does take time, but if you do it right, we don't have any boo-boos and everything will go nice and smooth. So on this chart, if you're, let me hold this up here. There you go. If you're following along and you're using the fabric kit that Kimberbell has created, okay, you're going to be cutting these strips. Ignore my handwritten numbers, but you're going to be cutting these pieces out of this fabric. And if you're using the kit, it's really easy, because all you're going to do is you're going to look for this red, and it's going to tell you, red house, I need a roof, 1 piece, 4.5 by 3.5, etc. The porch, 2 by 3.5. Then as you cut that piece, then it says red house. That piece will go in the red house pouch system or your bag. So I would just get that fabric out and say, okay, these are the pieces I need. Kimberbell has this amazing cut chart. So you put the fabric in the direction that they show here, like tall, okay? And then they'll show you the best and most efficient way of cutting the fabrics. So then you just cut them as they are shown. As you go through, though, each piece match up. So I'm going to look for this red here. I'm going to look for this red here. Double check before you cut that these sizes are the exact same as these sizes. Everybody's human, so once in a while these might be slightly different than this chart. Okay, when in doubt, go with the larger size. So if this said 4.5 by 3.5 and then it actually said 5 by 3.5, I would cut it 5 by 3.5. You always want a little more fabric if you have the fabric to spare than too small. I've only found one error so far in all the projects I've done, but I always double check before I do any cutting that these two match up, and then I'll proceed to cut. So follow the cut guide for each of the fabrics that you're going to do. Now, if you decided that you want to do this fun table topper / wall hanging that I've come up with, you can also get this pattern, video number 1 of this project. You can see a good picture of this pattern on the computer screen. Then let's walk through real quickly the changes to this that I've made that you will need to make when you go to cut the fabric. Okay, first of all, so let's walk through this. Hopefully you get a printout of this page right now so you can mark it up. Okay, so the first thing we need are the background for the main blocks. Okay, so we're talking these backgrounds here for the main blocks. So I am going to do, instead of 1 street lamp, I call a light pole, I'm doing 1, 2, 3, and 4. So on the first one, you need to put a 4 next to the street lamp. Now, mind you, there's 2 street lamps. There's a street lamp 1 and a street lamp 2. Doesn't matter for this purpose. I just say I need 4 pieces of this 6.5 by 10.5. We'll probably do 2 of this one and 2 of street lamp 2. But all I'm concerned right now is how many pieces of fabric I need. So I just went ahead and put 4 next to the one that says 6.5 by 10.5. The cocoa stand, we're only going to do 1. So that stays the same. The red house is going to be 1. I'm going to skip down to the blue house and the tan house. Those are also going to be 1. So those haven't changed. The Christmas tree, however, I'm doing 4 trees. I'm doing 1 in the center on each and every side. Okay? So that means I need 4 backgrounds for the Christmas tree. So again, the street lamps or light poles, I need 4 pieces of fabric. Cocoa stand is 1. Red house is 1. Christmas tree is 4. Blue house is 1. And tan house is 1. So then you continue down. The houses here are going to be the same. You just need 1 because we're only doing 1 block for each house. So these houses are the same. The cocoa stand is 1. That's the same. The red house here, tan house, 1, the same. This is the houses again, 1. Now we get to the Christmas trees. And remember I said we're doing 4 Christmas trees. 1 in the center of each side. So that means in this section, there's 2 different colors of green because the tree is going to have a pattern green, a solid green, the pattern green again, and a solid green. So there's 2 pieces of the pattern we need and 2 pieces of the solid for each tree. So back here, I'm going to say instead of 1 of this solid green, I need 4 because I'm doing 4 trees. Then again, section 3, the second part of the tree, I need 4. The patterned green, I need 4 and 4. Okay? So for each of those Christmas tree sections, we need 4 each of them. And then the houses, again, are the same as just 1. And you've noticed I haven't put anything on the patchwork border because right now I haven't decided whether I'm going to do a patchwork border on this or if I'm just going to leave this as its own and do a binding on the end or maybe another skinny border. The patchwork border might be too much for this. So that's why for my design, I've left that off right now. If I decide to do it, I can always come back and cut those pieces. That's not a big deal. Okay, so your homework assignment between now and the next video is to either cut based on the fabric kit, what you need, or based on my pattern to cut what you need out of the fabrics and then put them into your pouch system. Okay, so that is your homework assignment for between now and the next video. Also, on the embellishments, if you're using the embellishment kit, I highly recommend not cutting out your pieces. Reason being is when we get to the machine and I walk you through it, you can maximize the amount that you can get off of a piece of glitter. If it's Kimberbell's provided a piece that's say 6 by 4, we can maximize what we get out of that piece. A lot of times we can get more out of it by positioning the glitter differently. So I would recommend not cutting this and just using it out of the embellishment kit as we go on. Now, if you're using things from your stash, like I'm going to be using this roll of glitter, well, I'm going to have to trim something off of this because I can't put this whole thing under and manage a roll. So if you're using your own stash and you have rolls of glitter, then I would go ahead and mark the ones here that I've marked with a 1, which would be your red applique glitter, your white applique glitter, and your mylar, because I have larger sheets of mylar, and what you're using for the embroidery cork area, whether it's cork or whether it's fabric. Those pieces, like I said, if they're from your stash and they're a little bit more difficult to maneuver on a machine, go ahead and pre-cut those pieces to these sizes, okay? But if you're using the embellishment kit, just leave them alone, and then as we get to the machine, I'll show you how to maximize by placing those pieces down and being able to get more out of those pieces, okay? So that is your other part of the homework. And last but not least, okay, you need to take those background fabrics right here on this first part, which is usually your white or white with snowflakes or whatever pattern you've chosen for this. These background pieces, okay, you need to take those, and this is my background piece, which is kind of a really pretty swirly white. Kind of looks like a snowstorm or a windstorm on a winter's night. Isn't that cool? You're going to be taking these and you need to fuse them. So this is a piece of Palon 860F. You can also use SF101, and Kimberbell has a fusible backing as well. You need to support your background pieces by fusing something like this to the back side of this. Now, a lot of the fusibles will shrink, so you need to pre-shrink these. I just put mine in a bowl of water coming out and then let it dry, and it will pre-shrink. This project is probably not going to be laundered a lot because it's going to have lots of fancy embellishments on it, and it's going to be displayed either on the wall or a table. So the amount of times you're going to launder this is probably going to be next to none or very few. But if you pre-shrink this, if and when you do need to launder it, it won't cause puckers in your design. So just fuse this on the back of your background fabrics only. I usually will put this down, put a pressing sheet on top of it, and then iron this into place. Usually hold the iron about 12 to 15 seconds in each place to get it nicely fused, but make sure you're using a pressing sheet so you don't get gook all over your iron plate, okay? So fuse the back of all of these background pieces, okay? All right, so we are ready to go. This is going to be a really cute, fun project. I hope you're as excited as I am. So go ahead and do your homework, and in about a week I will post the next video, which is where we're going to start making these blocks. But cutting fabric does take a little bit of time, so go ahead and just slowly go through it. Don't cut fabric when you're in a hurry either, because that's when you'll make mistakes. Cut it when you're relaxed, either first thing in the morning or whatever time that you have your kind of a happy zone in cutting fabric. Mine is first thing in the morning when I'm alert and I'm relaxed. I'll do my fabric cutting and do my fusing and get everything all situated, okay? So I will look forward to seeing you here next time. Jolly Molly TV. Please subscribe to my channel. It's free. And then you'll be able to see all of my video tutorials that I have out there for you. And click the like button too, because YouTube likes to see if people like the videos. Okay, get your homework done, and I'll meet you here next time on Jolly Molly TV, where we will start making the blocks on Kimberbell's Candy Cane Lane bench pillow or table topper or wall hanging. All right, until then, take care. Bye-bye.